Coming up in this video, 5 tips to take back your power.
What you need to stop doing to get it.
If you're new, consider subscribing, click that bell, and you'll be good to go.
So for those of you that do not know us yet, I'm Heather.
And I'm David.
From ZenEd.com. Yes.
Helping people create
badass life. If you have any questions as we go, and I know you guys always do, drop them in the comments.
Now it's time for the good stuff.
Just a little bit about how we give our power away. There are a multitude of ways that we give our power away. We can give our power away when we put the needs of others in front of our basic self-care and self-love needs.
Can you say codependency?
Done that before. We've all done it in different degrees, and we all do it in different degrees.
Here, we're still caught up in that subtle trap of getting our power, self-worth, and validation from outside of ourselves, even though on the surface, it might look like you are out to save the world.
And I see a lot of healers and light workers and helpers getting caught in this trap, and then they kind of burn themselves out. So this is addressed to all of us, but I know specifically a lot of the coaches that we train get caught into this because they really are motivated to help people, but sometimes that
becomes the overextended helper. Right.
So sometimes we feel like we don't have a choice in the matter, like we are bound by duty, even though the other person doesn't really want to listen.
Or just pretends to listen, and that's kind of even worse.
Yeah, like the person saying, yeah, I'll do it, and then their actions don't show it, and then you just get frustrated because they're just giving you lip service. But as always, you have to have some healthy level of self-contentment first in order to help anybody else make a lasting change.
Yep, you gotta do you first and get yourself solid before you can ever really be of help to anybody else.
Because then your help is authentic and not coming from, if I improve you, then I improve myself. So
what happens is otherwise, what you're saying, if you're not solid first, what you're saying is that if you're okay, then I'm okay. And that is a recipe for dysfunction if I've ever heard one.
There's a famous book, a famous psychology book. A lot of it is about codependency, written in the 70s. It's kind of a classic called I'm okay, you're okay. So it's not the other way around. It's I'm okay, you're okay. Not you're okay, and I'm okay.
Right. So really, let's be totally honest. Is your happiness dependent on some external validation?
Okay, it's an honest question because to some extent, this is where I want to let you guys let go of all the guilt you might have around this.
Right.
Because to some extent, our external does affect us, our happiness, but it's easy to fall into the trap of giving the external all of our power.
Right.
So let's break it down.
Tip number 1 is wanting to see them in their potential, but they don't want to.
They don't want to. Common trap we see our clients caught into, especially the ones that are on their own self-growth journey and really want to help their partners improve themselves so they can experience a level of happiness.
They can fix their partner, they can fix their relationship.
A common thing here is if my partner could just see the error of their ways and how we could be happy if they just do X, Y, Z, whatever that X, Y, and Z is, then life will be just peachy. Until then, I can't be happy.
If they could just see how X, Y, and Z are working beautifully for me and how it has made me a better person and appreciate me for that, then we can have an amazing relationship. So, it'll be awesome.
So ... whatever that X, Y, and Z is, like start going to yoga with me, do your self-improvement work. Part of that is the flip side, like David said, that appreciate me aspect where I know I've been in this trap. Huge. If I just do better and I can do everything with perfection and my partner's going to see I've given too much. If they only see how good I'm doing it, and appreciate the fact that I'm doing X, Y, and Z, if they can only appreciate and see me. So getting frustrated because my partner, whatever partner at the time, couldn't see what I was doing to improve the relationship. And if I just try harder, they'll see and appreciate me. Big no for giving your power away. It's sort of the flip side to this tip number 1.
So when you're choosing a partner or a friendship or anybody that you choose to have around you, you have to look at the deal breakers and decide right then if you can live with those things forever. If for some reason your partner decides they're just fine with never improving that particular part of their life and they're going to continue going on doing these things that irritate you.
Yeah, so I tell people, pick the worst thing about your potential partner, and if that's going to be okay, if they never change it, then you're going to be okay. Because people get in, they go, well, I hate this. I know I can change it. If they love me enough, they'll change this. This is a huge, this is tip number 1 because
that's a big pitfall. So you've got to decide for yourself if it's a deal breaker for you. If this person never changes their behavior, can you live with it?
It's a biggie, guys. Think about it. So tip number 2, let's move on, is stop blaming others, the situation, whatever it is, and take personal responsibility.
Absolutely.
Huge.
Because what happens by blaming, your sense of self fades into the background and you give away more power to whomever or whatever you're blaming who is not doing X, Y, and Z to improve your mutual situation. You're putting all of this energy outside so you don't have to just worry about you.
Where you are now as the result of all of the choices you've made up to this moment.
Right.
And you chose that relationship or that friendship or that job. So you got to kind of take responsibility for that.
Right.
Force creates resistance, right? And allowance creates flow and allows the other person to choose what is right for them at the time, even though what they're choosing at the time might not be right for you. Thought should put you back in control of your life instead of trying to control the lives of others so that your life can improve.
That you are the result of all of the choices that you have made up to this moment. And you chose this particular relationship. You also chose to try to change someone in a way that may not be natural for them at this time.
Right.
That's okay. I mean, it's not okay. Don't try to change people.
Really important to forgive after you've processed the anger and all the emotions, because past experiences or events can hold us hostage. When you're still venting and fuming over the person that butt in line, instead of like, oh, okay, I guess you need to get out of here faster than I did.
Or took your parking space, whatever it is.
And you can brush it off a lot faster than you're not losing your power to the situation.
Tip number 3, stop making excuses. Okay. Quit it. Just stop.
Just stop. So excuses mean that you're not taking ownership of your personal needs and desires in some way, such as I can't take time to finish my degree because my partner is doing X, Y, and Z. Blaming and making excuses.
So this is one subtle sabotage behind making excuses, and that is that you are not trusting yourself to live the life you want to live and using someone else as an excuse or a scapegoat for why you're not doing your things.
You know, and there's life circumstances that happen, but I'm not talking about things that kind of direct you in different ways. I'm talking about legitimate excuses that are self-sabotaging. So take a look at your excuses honestly and make a commitment to stop making them and just do it.
Be Nike. So let us know in the comments if you've ever caught yourself making those kinds of excuses on somebody else because maybe you really just didn't want to do the thing, even though you wanted to do the thing, but you were scared of doing the thing, so you didn't do the thing, and you blamed the thing on somebody else. Let us know in the comments if you've ever done that. Tip number 4, stop judging yourself.
Big one. Okay. Chances are, if you recognize yourself in any of tip number 1, 2, and 3, you are probably your own worst critic, like so many of us are, and have struggled with a perfectionist mindset.
Ooh, yeah, that's tough. I've been there. You might also struggle with procrastination as well, and can't seem to immerse yourself in the pursuit of your dream. So it goes perfectionist and procrastination, which can both actually be one and the same, because your perfectionism is a form of procrastination that protects you from stepping into your fluidity of doing the thing.
So this is kind of a way, I want to bring this one up today, because this is kind of a way we give our power away to ourselves and our negative mindset. So here's what it looks like. You might get caught in a vicious cycle of judging yourself for doing something, like getting started, and you judge it because you think it's not good enough. Why am I even pursuing this degree or this, trying to paint or whatever it is? It's just not good enough. And when you actually do start to work on it, and then you start judging yourself for not taking any action. So you stop doing it, then you start judging yourself again for not taking actions towards your goal. So
that's like, a lot of judging on yourself.
You do it, and then you judge yourself for doing it, and then you judge yourself for not doing it. And it's this vicious cycle that we have seen so many people fall into. And that is you giving your power away to that negative program in your head. Raise your hand if you've done that.
So stop with the judging. Brush that judgy off your shoulders.
Tip number 5.
Recognize the power of choice.
And this is where we really want you guys, our Zen Rose Garden tribe, the Zen heads out there, to take your power back. You always have a choice.
It can be easy to lose sight of this when you put the needs of others in front of yours. You do not have to do this anymore. And these things are small moments that you catch yourself and reprogram. Catch yourself and change the habit, change behavior, change the thought in a moment. then do another one, then do another one. And before long, you're going to find that you accumulate so many shifts and changes that who you are now is not who you were 3 months ago.
For you parents out there, putting the needs of your kids in front of you. I mean, sometimes you got to do that before you can like brush your teeth and like, you know what I mean? That's a different thing. And that's really not what I'm talking about. You know, you're going to be in that situation as a parent. You just do. You're going to get up some days and it's going to be 1 o'clock and you haven't brushed your teeth and you've got 3 babies going on. I've been there. I've laughed. That's not what I mean. I mean, take time for yourself and your needs otherwise.
Change takes action. You can think about the thing all day, but you take an action and it starts to make it real.
So taking your power back means you have to take actions. It's not just, I'm thinking about taking my power back. It's an action. And it can be as simple as writing down what your wants and needs are. Yeah. Because a lot of times when we are giving our power away, our sense of self has faded into the background so far that we don't really even know. We've gotten numb to what we want, need, and desire out of life. That's so far off the table for us, we've kind of forgotten what it is.
Or lost sight of it on a deep horizon somewhere else outside of your view of awareness. Then when you write down your wants and your needs, then you start writing down specific actions that you can take and do them. Pick any one thing and do that action right away.
Aristotle said it, that excellence is a habit of doing excellent things over and over until it becomes a habit. And I'm not talking about perfectionism. I'm talking about excellence.
Yes.
Perfectionism gives you stress-related health disorders. Yes. So there's a warning here I want to add to tip number 5, which is recognize your power of choice. If you cannot see now, okay, ready for a truth bomb. If you can't see now how you were trying to pressure a change in your partner, friend, parent, whatever, if you can't see how that force was infringing on their power to choose, go back and start the video over, because a lot of times we don't recognize that we're actually trying to force a change and infringe on someone else's free will.
Yes.
That's a come to Buddha moment for me. Yeah.
Because here's the thing. You think that everybody else is doing these things to you in your life, but you're not realizing how you may be butting in on their journey, trying to make them better when they may not be ready.
They got to do some steps in between, and we don't know what those steps are. So we do a bonus tip for you, and it is the power of no
can be
just as powerful as the power of now. Raise your hand. Power of no. Most people who give their power away in some fashion may still have some of that inner people pleaser. It's hard to shake that, right? Yep. To let go of, that feels some level of shame or guilt if they don't say yes.
If you're not constantly saying yes, you're letting people down. And that's that old people pleaser. So we can eventually get resentful if we go against our truth and do those things that we don't really intuitively want to do. When you're constantly saying yes and constantly piling things on your plate just because you don't want to let somebody down, you're going to build up that resentment and you're going to end up blowing up at some point because it's got to come out. Or you say yes to the things that you actually want to do. You say no to the things that you don't want to do, and let it be okay.
Yeah, because when you take that first step, you have guilt and shame. It's like a little bit freaky because it's it might even feel kind of selfish.
It is absolutely worth it. When you start cutting out the dysfunction in your life, you create more room for function.
So I hope that makes sense, guys. These are only some ways that you give your power away. These are some of the things to stop doing now to take your power back. They're not always easy, but you got to stop doing them. Now it's time for that offer to take your life from basic, we're not trying to be basic, to badass in 90 seconds.
Are you tired of all the same shit?
Are you ready for real shit?
Zen Ed Academy is where we jack you into the ZRG mainframe.
That's right. Without all of the unicorn poop. And you know what I mean by unicorn poop. Raise your hand.
All of the information is down below to get started.
Yes. So guys, this has been a lot of fun today. If you liked this video, be sure to hit the like button.
If you have any questions, let us know in the comments.
Be sure to subscribe.
And click the bell.
So you are the first to know
when we drop a new video
or go live.
And we know that time is a valuable and precious resource, and the fact that you've chosen to spend that not only with us, but for yourself, leveling up your skills and taking your life to the next level. We absolutely honor and appreciate that. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing day.
And we'll see you guys in the next video.
Next one.